Yeah, hi everyone. So thank you for attending this session. Yeah, so I just wanted to start this session by giving a brief introduction about the last session. So yeah, I'll just give you a brief introduction about the last session. So what we have discussed in the last session. So after that, we'll discuss about what are the prerequisites of this course and what are you going to get along with this course. And after that, today, as part of the first class, we will discuss about the installation of the TypeScript, like what are the prerequisites to work with TypeScript and what is the environment setup. So we'll discuss those things. So I think in the last session, so in the demo session, we have discussed about what is Playwright and what are the advantages of the Playwright. So the Playwright is a modern web application automation tool. So it supports both web applications as well as API automation. It also supports end-to-end testing, API testing, and component testing. So then we have discussed about the differences between the Selenium and Playwright. So then we have discussed about the architectural difference between Playwright and Selenium. So the latest version of Selenium is Selenium 4. So the architecture of the Selenium 4 looks like this. So the whatever the scripts that we have created, so we call them as automation scripts or Selenium scripts. This can be written in Java or Python, C Sharp, Ruby, or JavaScript. So they cannot directly interact with the browser. In between, there will be an intermediate layer called Chrome, the driver executable files. We can call them as driver servers. So each request will be sent to the driver from there to the browser. So because of this, there will be some latency in Selenium, and also it uses HTTP protocol. And along with that, Selenium works mostly with the browsers that are installed in your local. So because of all these reasons, Selenium is going to be a bit slow compared to Playwright. So then we have discussed about the Playwright architecture. So in Playwright, there will be no driver files. So in Playwright, you can write the automation scripts using either JavaScript, Python, Java, .NET, or TypeScript. So whatever the automation scripts we have written here, they can directly interact with the browsers. Since they can directly interact with the browsers, so there will be no intermediate layer here. There will be no server that is required like we have in Selenium. For Chrome, you need Chrome driver. For Firefox, you need a Gecko driver. So in Playwright, you don't need to do all those things. So whatever the scripts you have written, they has the capability to directly interact with the browser. And the Playwright uses WebSocket protocol. So for communication, so the WebSocket protocol is a bidirectional protocol. So whenever a connection opens, it can communicate until the end, and it will receive the response from the browser back to your automation script. So this is a bidirectional. But in Selenium, we use HTTP connection. So for each command, it has to open the connection. Once that command is executed, it has to close that connection. Again, for the next command, it has to open a new connection. But those kind of things you don't need in Playwright, because Playwright uses WebSocket. It is like a continuous communication protocol. Then we have discussed about the browser support in Playwright. So Playwright supports Chromium based browsers, that is Chrome and Edge, and it supports Firefox and it supports WebKit. So then we have discussed about the languages that Playwright supports. So in Playwright, if you wanted to write the automation scripts, you can write either using JavaScript, or you can use TypeScript, Python, Java, or C Sharp. But as part of this course, we are going to learn Playwright with TypeScript. So then we have discussed about different features of Playwright. So like in Playwright, there is a auto wait feature. So where you don't need to specify the wait times for an element to wait. So internally, it has inbuilt auto wait mechanism. So whenever it is not able to identify an element, it will automatically wait for the element. And the execution speed is more compared to Selenium, because In Playwright, there will be no driver in between. So because of that, it can directly interact with the browser, and there is no intermediate layer here. And so it has built-in test runners like in Selenium. So if you want to write any automation scripts, we need to use some third party like TestNG or Cucumber. You need to use those kind of runners, but in Playwright you don't need them. So by default in the Playwright test framework, it provides runners for execution of the parallel execution, to take the screenshots, to take the videos. So all those features are directly available in Playwright. You just need to configure them in the Playwright configuration file. So then it has debugging mechanisms and network interceptions and parallel execution. So these features will deep dive into all these things one by one once we go over the course. Okay. So after that, we discussed about the code gen. So actually, Playwright code gen is a tool that comes along with the Playwright installation. So the main purpose of this Playwright code gen is to record the test cases. So you can execute the test cases manually, and you can use the Playwright code gen. It will automatically generate the scripts for you while you execute the manual test case. So this will help you to reduce the manual effort. And also with code gen, you can generate the locators, and you can keep the assertions. And also by default, this Playwright code gen generates the code in Typescript. So now if you wanted to export that to a different programming language, you can still do that. Because suppose let's say you generated the code in TypeScript, then Playwright Code Gen provides you option to export to either Python or C Sharp. So it has multiple options. So as we go with the course, we'll discuss in detail more about all the features, how to use the code gen. So these things we can discuss in detail, so along with the course. And after that, we discussed about the Playwright MCP. So what is a Playwright MCP? So Playwright MCP is Playwright Model Context Protocol. So this is used to integrate with LLMs, because whenever you integrate Playwright MCP with LLMs, you don't need to write the automation test cases manually, because you can give the plain English prompts for test cases. It can generate the test cases, and also it can generate the automation code for all of your test cases. So we can discuss about how the Playwright MCP can be installed, how we can integrate them with the LLMs, how we can leverage the power of AI for test automation framework generation and test cases automation. So we can see that. So then finally, we have multiple agents in Playwright. So like there is a Playwright Planner AI agent, and Playwright AI generated agent, and Playwright Healer agent. So the planner agent, it is used to generate the manual test cases. So you can give any website, you can ask planner agent to explore that. So the planner agent is going to explore the application. It creates the user journeys, and it will generate the manual test cases for you. Then you can ask generator agent to generate the automation test cases for them, and this generator AI agent help you to generate the automation test cases for the manual plan that we have generated. So then once you execute that, if there are any failures, then we can make use of healer agent to fix those test cases. Yeah, we'll deep dive into these things when we go through the course. Then, yeah, so these are the things that we have discussed as part of the demo. So now let us discuss what are the prerequisites of this course. So who can learn this course? So if you want to learn this course, so you don't need to have any prior experience on automation. So here we are going to discuss from scratch. So this course involves TypeScript from scratch and the Playwright concepts. In the Playwright concepts, we will discuss both web application as well as API automation. So how to perform the web application automation, how to perform the API automation, we will discuss in detail. And if you don't know TypeScript prior, you don't need to bother about that, because we are going to discuss TypeScript from the scratch. We'll learn all the concepts in TypeScript, whichever requires for Playwright automation. So once this TypeScript is done, we'll be learning about Playwright concepts like how to interact with the web applications and handling checkboxes, radio buttons, different kind of windows. So all the web related actions we'll be discussing in detail. So once the Playwright concepts are done, we'll be learning about the framework development. So how to develop the enterprise frameworks using the Playwright with TypeScript. So after the framework part is done, so we'll learn about Playwright MCP. So how to install the Playwright MCP and how to integrate this Playwright MCP servers with GitHub Copilot and LLMs, and how to give the prompts, how to generate the automation framework, then how we can generate the automation test cases from plain English text prompts. So we'll discuss in detail about those. And after that, we'll discuss about the Playwright AI agents. So as I told you, so Playwright has provided three different AI agents. One is a planner agent, generator agent, and healer agent. So we'll discuss how to leverage these agents to minimize our testing effort, and or I can say that how to generate the codeless automation. Just with the help of prompts, we can generate the automation test cases and how we can reduce all our manual effort. So we'll discuss as part of this Playwright AI agents. Then finally, we'll also discuss about building custom agents in Playwright. So along with the inbuilt agents, we can also discuss about how to build our custom AI agents, how we can use LLMs, and how to build our custom agents with the help of Playwright MCPs and LLMs. We'll discuss them in detail. So this is all about the course structure and overview. So it will take approximately 30 sessions to complete. Yeah. So this is all about the overview of this course. And apart from this, so what you will get as part of this course. So every day after the session is done, I'll be recording each session. So this recorded video I will be uploading to a Google Drive. So I'll provide you the Google Drive link. So you can download the videos from that link every day. Then I'll provide the class notes, like whatever we discussed as part of the class. So I'm going to give a PDF document for each of the session where you will have detailed steps for whatever we have discussed as part of our session. Then I'll provide the assignments. So after two to three classes, after we cover good amount of sessions, then I'll provide you assignments of those sessions. So the assignments will also be uploaded to the same Google Drive. And so yeah, I'll support in interview questions. I'll give you what are the frequently asked interview questions and programs, all those things I'll provide you. So as part of this course. So do you have any questions so far? Okay. Yeah, this is all about the overview of this course. And so as we discuss it, so we'll learn about TypeScript. So we'll learn about TypeScript. And as part of this TypeScript, if you wanted to learn TypeScript, so we need to have the following softwares. One is you should have this Node.js, and you need to have VS Code. Then we need to install the TypeScript. So as part of this today's session, we'll discuss like how to install this Node.js and how to set up this Node.js in Windows and Mac. Then we'll discuss about VS Code. So what is VS Code and why we need VS Code. Then we'll discuss how to install the TypeScript. So what is the Node.js? So Node.js is a server or Node.js is a software. So which is required when if you want to work with either JavaScript or TypeScript, you must have this Node.js server. So to install this Node.js, you can just go to Google and you can search for download Node.js. Yeah, I'll just open this browser. So you can go to Google and you can search for download Node.js. Yeah, so I'll just go to google.com. and I can say download Node.js. So I just go to this website, and here you will see the options. Suppose if you are using a Mac machine, you can select here Mac OS, and yeah, so you can download the corresponding file if you are working with Mac. So I think you can go and select here Mac OS. Yeah, here you got this Mac OS installer. You can download this and you can install that. And if you are working with Windows, you can select Windows here and you can download this installer file .msi file. So once you click on install on this, once you click on this, there will be one .exe file that will be downloaded. So this is the .exe file that you will get. So once you get the file, you just need to run this file. So once you run this, you will get multiple steps here. Yeah, so you'll see these options. So you just click on this, then you click on this install, then there will be some steps. You will get click on this next until it get finished. So once this Node.js is installed, then you need to check these options. You just go to command prompt and you can give this node hyphen v. So if the Node.js has been installed successfully, it will show the version. So let me check that. It's because in my system, I have already installed the Node.js. So
Sorry.
now, yeah.
Are we doing it side by side with you, or you are going too fast?
Okay. So yeah, because I think maybe we can try after because I'll provide a detailed document on this.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe yeah, after the class you can try that.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
So
we
yeah,
need do we need any particular version for this one, Node.js, Madhu? Because I already have a Node.js with a 23 version. So will that work, or do we need to update, or will it work without updating the Node.js as well?
I think the latest version should be fine. So if you have old version, I think it's better to upgrade to the latest version. So
Okay.
now, yeah, so
Okay.
let me
Thank
go
you.
to this command prompt. Yeah, so you can check node hyphen version. So I have the latest one is this one, 24.18.4. So if you have older version, like if you have greater than 20, that is enough. But if you wanted to have latest version, so that is also good. So you can go and download the latest version. So in the document, I have provided the detailed steps to install the Node.js. And so after this session, I am going to send this document. You can go through this and you can install after the session. Okay. Yeah, so once you click on this, right, finish, so it will get installed. Then you can verify this. You can go to the command prompt. You can run this command node hyphen minus v. So then it is going to give you the version. So if it has successfully installed, you will get the version. If there is any problem with the installation, I don't think it will give you this version. You can try this document. You can follow this document and install that. So this is how you can install Node.js in Windows operating system. But if you are working with Mac, so I think you need to follow a different approach. So I think I also documented that here. Yeah, suppose if you are working with Mac, so you can install using brew install node. So you must have to set up brew software if you are working with Mac. If the home brew is not already available, you can run this command and it is going to install the homebrew. Once the homebrew is set up in Mac, then you can use this brew install node. So once you run this, it will take some time and after that it will successfully install the Node.js. Once the Node.js is installed, then you can check this. So node version. So this is going to provide the node version. So along with the node, so there will be one more package npm. So node package manager. So npm will also be get installed along with the node.js. So now how to check the node npm version? So you can go and say npm minus v. So it will give you the node package manager version. So what is node package manager? So because as we go with the course, right, we might need to install multiple libraries because we are going to work with Playwright with TypeScript. So I need to install the Playwright or I need to install the TypeScript. And if I want to work with Excel files, so I need to install additional libraries. So all these are different packages and npm is a node package manager. It will help you to install the additional libraries. So this npm it will come automatically along with node.js installation. So we don't need to install this separately. So whenever you install the node.js, the npm will also come along with the node.js. So if you want to check if it has already been installed, you can just try this command npm-v. So if you get the version, that means npm has been installed successfully. Okay. So now we have discussed how to install Node.js on Mac and Windows. So the Node.js server has been installed successfully with this. Next, we need VS Code. So what is VS Code and why we need VS Code? So VS Code is a IDE. So what is meant by IDE? IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So the main purpose of VS Code is to write the code because we are going to work with TypeScript. So if you want to if you want to create the TypeScript projects, and if you wanted to manage the programs and write the code, execute the code, if you wanted to do all those things, we can make use of this VS Code. There are many additional IDs as well. Like we have IntelliJ we have, and there are like you can even write in Sublime text, or you can use Notepad++ as well. But if you wanted to manage the project effectively, we must have to use some IDs. So for if you are working with JavaScript or TypeScript, VS Code is most recommended IDE. So now, as part of this course, we are going to write we are going to create the projects and manage the projects using VS Code. Okay. So now let us see how to download and install the VS Code. Again, just go to Google and you can search for download VS Code. Yeah. So you can just go to the first link, click on this. So now depending on the operating system, so we need to select the respective VS Code ID. Yeah, if you are working with Windows 10 or 11, so you can download this installer. So we have the system installer. So x64, you can click on this. Again, it will be downloading one .exe file. So yeah, once you download the .exe file, you can just run that and you have to click on next until the installation is done. So let me show you here. Yeah. So now once I download from the system installer, just click on that. So depending on your operating system, if your operating system is 32-bit, download 32-bit one. If your operating system is 64-bit, download the 64-bit. So once you download that, you will getting an exe file. Double click on that. So once you double click on that, it will show you this license agreement. So click on next. Then you have to click on next. So until it finishes the installation. So once the installation is done, so you can go on search here VS Code. Yeah. So you'll get an icon here, VS Code icon. So you can click on open. So I already have followed these steps and I already have installed the VS Code. So once you have installed the VS Code, so you will get like this. Okay. So now we have this Node.js setup and I have installed the VS Code. And the next step is, so I need to install the TypeScript because I wanted to work with the TypeScript. So I want to create a TypeScript project and I want to run a simple program. Like suppose let's say in the as part of this first project, I want to print hello world. welcome to TypeScript. That is my intention. So once you have installed the VS Code, just open the VS Code. So this is how the VS Code looks like. Okay. So now if I wanted to write any TypeScript program, so first I need to install the TypeScript. So even before you install the TypeScript, you need to create a project. I need to create a TypeScript project, or you need to create a project. So once you create the project, then you need to install the TypeScript. So now how to create the project? So you can go here. Yeah, I just created one folder. So in this users directory, so I'm using Windows operating system. So in the Windows operating system, in the users directory, so my user is this one, Selenium. So inside this, I created one project, one folder, Playwright training. So open that, and I created one folder, TSUK 25 June 2026. You can create any folder. So I have created this folder. So this folder is nothing but a project. So now go to TypeScript, go to VS Code and go to File, Open Folder. So for now, I'll delete everything from here. I'll show you how to install this. So by default, you don't get anything. Initially, it will be an empty folder. Yeah, the folder looks like this. So initially, I just created an empty folder. So as of now, this folder has nothing. Go to VS Code and click on File, Open Folder, and go to the location where you have created this folder. So this has been created under uh, users, and this is the user, Playwright training, and point this folder. Okay, this is the folder, TSUK 25 June 2026. This is the folder where I wanted to write my TypeScript programs. Select this folder. Now you can see the project has been imported to VS Code. So as of now, this is just an empty folder. I can say this is an empty project. So now I wanted to install the TypeScript. So how to install the TypeScript? So if you want to install the TypeScript, you can do in two ways. One way is you can install the TypeScript globally, and you can install the TypeScript specific to your project. So what is the difference between installing TypeScript globally and installing the TypeScript specific to your project? So now let us take an example. So currently I'm using Windows operating system. So in the Windows operating system, you can have multiple users because in same operating system, you can have multiple users. So as of now, I have this user, Selenium user, and for the same system, you can have one more user. So generally, if you log in and if you are trying to install a software, it will ask you whether you want to install specific to this user or whether you want to install as a system administrator. So if you install the software as a system administrator, that will be available for all the users because you are installing that not specific to the user, rather you are installing that at the system level. So if you install that as a system level, then it is available for all the users. Suppose let's say I have three users, Selenium 1, 2, 3. There are three users. So the software that is installed at the system level will have access for Selenium 1 user. If the Selenium 1 user logs into the system, you can see that software. Again, same is the case with Selenium 2 or Selenium 3 because you have installed that at the system level. Now, what is the problem with installing at the system level? Because suppose let's say in future there is a new version that got updated. Now, if I install that at the system level, again the same is applicable for all the users. Suppose if a particular user have dependency at particular version of that software, then if you install that at global level, it is going to override all the users. So that is the problem when you install at the global level. Suppose let's say if the same software I install only for particular user, then it is not going to affect other users because you are installing it specific to that particular user. If user update that software, it will be affected only that particular user. So then the other users of the operating system will not have any problem. Same is the case with your TypeScript project, because if I install the TypeScript at the global level, suppose as of now I have only one project. Let's say I created three different projects. So if I install that at the global level, then it will be affected for all the projects. Suppose in future there is a version change. If I update that at the global level, then it will impact individual projects, because some projects may depend on some particular version of the TypeScript. If you upgrade that, those projects may fail. So that is the reason we usually don't prefer to install these libraries at the global level. Rather, I wanted to install that at the uh, particular project level. So how can we install TypeScript at the global level or at the particular project level? So this is the syntax. So let me show you the syntax. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to install at the global level, so you can say npm install -g TypeScript. So this is going to install TypeScript at the global level. But if you wanted to install specific to a particular project, so you can use this npm install TypeScript save dev. Okay. So now let me run this. So now go to VS Code. So once you go to the VS Code, here you will see an option terminal. Click on this terminal, click on new terminal. So once you click on new terminal, you will get an option here. So you will get a terminal option here. Yeah. So now you just give npm install. So I want to install TypeScript. Yeah, give TypeScript name. Then I have to say save dev. So first I need to give two hyphens, save dev. So what is the meaning of save dev? Save dev means save to the local dev environment. That is the meaning of this. So just click on enter. Now I should see it should install the TypeScript software local to this project. So it is installing TypeScript. Yeah. So now it has installed the TypeScript. Just expand this. Now here if you observe, so it has generated node modules, and there is one package.json, package log.json. So what is the use of this package.json? So I think if you have worked with Selenium, Java or Maven projects earlier, so in the Maven there will be one pom.xml file which keep track of all the libraries that you have installed. So the package.json is similar to that. So the package.json contains all the different libraries that has been installed as part of your project. Suppose in future, if you want to export this project to a different system, you can copy this project there and you can simply say npm install. Then it will install all the dependencies from package.json. So this package.json will be generated automatically whenever you install new library. Then the respective dependency will be added to this package.json automatically. Okay. So as of now, I install the TypeScript. So the TypeScript version and dependency has been added to package.json. On this node modules, this is like Java libraries. I think you might have seen jar files in the Java. In the same way, this node module will contain the module that you have installed. So as of now, I installed the TypeScript. You can see the TypeScript module has been added in the node modules. Yeah, so this is how we can install the TypeScript. Okay. So now I have successfully created a TypeScript project in VS Code, and I have installed the TypeScript. So, and one more thing is, suppose let's say you are running this for the first time in your Windows machine, then you may face the following issue. Yeah, you will see this issue for the first time if you are trying. So you may get this error. You can see here you may get like about execution policy set HTTP Go Microsoft link. You may get this error. So if you want to resolve this error, so this you will get for the first time. when you are trying to install the TypeScript. So if you want to resolve this error, so what you need to do is you just open the PowerShell as an administrator. I'll go to PowerShell. So yeah, you can open this PowerShell as an admin. You can say run as administrator. So then the PowerShell will be open. So once the PowerShell is open, so then you have to run this command. So set execution policy scope, current user, remote signed. So you have to run this command. So let me see. Yeah, I think, yeah. So this is the command that you have to execute to overcome from this error. So set execution policy, hyphen scope, current user, remote signed. Just click on enter. And it will ask for yes or no. You just keep yes, click on enter. That's it. So once you change this policy to yes, then this error will go away. So this error you will see while you install the TypeScript. So when I run this npm install TypeScript saved, you will see this error. So to get rid of this error, you can run this command. You have to open the PowerShell in administrator mode. Then you can run this command. So after that, you try installing TypeScript. Okay. Say npm
Is
install. Yes.
is this error only for Windows,
Windows.
not
Yes.
Mac?
Yeah, not for Mac. So you will see this only for Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the process is same for Windows and Mac only while you install the Node.js. So on VS Code, you have to install specifically for Mac. But once that is done, once you open the VS Code, creating the folder and opening that in VS Code, after that you have to open the terminal. This process is same in Mac as well. Once you open the new terminal here, you just run the same command npm install TypeScript saved, then it will install automatically. So after this, once you install the Node.js server and VS Code, then the process is same for both Mac and VS Code, sorry, Mac and Windows. But this error is specific to Windows. In Mac, you don't see any such errors. Okay, so now we have successfully created the TypeScript project and we have installed the TypeScript. So now I want to create a simple program which will print
I'm
hello world.
getting I'm getting the term npm is not recognized as a name of commandlet function.
Yeah, maybe I think after this session we will connect once. Okay, we'll see that error. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have created the project. Now the next thing I wanted to do is, so I wanted to run a simple program. So which prints hello world, welcome to TypeScript. So if you want to run that, so before that we need to generate one TypeScript configuration file. So how to generate that? So yeah, there is a command for that. So I have listed out all those commands here. Yeah, you need to create a TypeScript configuration file following this command. npx tsc init, it is going to create a TypeScript configuration file. So let us go here, go to the VS Code. So I would say npx init, sorry, I would say tsc init. Yeah, I should create a TypeScript configuration file. Yeah, now you can see that it has created a TypeScript configuration file, tsconfig.json. So I think by default we will get so many options in TypeScript configuration file. I think all these configurations we don't require. So you can replace that with this simple configuration file. This is required. This is enough for our automation project. I'm just keeping this. So we'll discuss later like what is the meaning of each of the option. So this is a target means to which JavaScript version you wanted to convert, because whenever you write a TypeScript program, so the TypeScript program has to be compiled. Once it is compiled, to which version of JavaScript it has to compile, that is the target. So in JavaScript we have different target versions, like if you see here, There are multiple versions, 2015, 16, like that. We have 2025. So like Java, we have multiple versions, Java 8, Java 9, Java 10, like that. Usually the target we specify to which version of Java it has to compile. Same way to which version of TypeScript we want to compile, that we need to specify. Then specify module as node next. Then root directory. So root directory is nothing but the folder where you want to create your programs. So I have provided this as SRC folder. So you need to create one SRC folder here to write the programs. So keep that as SRC. So root directory is nothing but SRC. That means it is going to read all our programs from SRC folder. Then output directory. So internally, every TypeScript program compiles to a JavaScript because TypeScript is an advanced version of JavaScript. So each TypeScript program, once it is compiled, it will be converted into a JavaScript file. So where you want to store that compiled JavaScript files, that is the path of out directory. So here we provide dist. That is the name of the folder. I'll give dist. Okay, now we have src folder and dist folder. So after that we have strict true. This we will discuss in detail later. And even this ES model interrupt, this we will discuss later. So now I have src folder and dist folder. So src is the folder where you have to write all of your TypeScript programs. Once that is compiled, that will be moved to dist folder. So and one more thing. So by default, you don't see these icons. You will see like normal empty folders. You don't see these icons. So how can I get these icons? If you want to get the icons for your VS Code projects, you need to install one VS Code icons extension. How to install that VS Code icons? Go to this, click on this extensions, search for VS Code icons. You will see a plugin here. Yeah, you can see there is one VS Code icons plugin appeared. Click on this. And I already installed that. If you haven't installed, you can click on install option. Then it will get installed. Once it is installed, you have to restart the VS Code to get it effect. So once it is installed successfully, you will see this folder options. SRC, you see a green color, node models light green. So these folder icons, these colors you will get only if you install that VS Code icons extension. Okay. So now we are ready to create our first TypeScript program. So as I mentioned, you can create the TypeScript program in SRC folder. So now right click on this, say new file. So I'm giving the file name as first program.ts. So the extension of the TypeScript program should be .ts. Okay. So click on this. So now I would say console.log. So I would say hello world, welcome to TypeScript. So here in TypeScript, if you wanted to print something to console, we need to use console.log. This is like a print statement in Java. If you want to print something in Java, use system.out.println. In the same way, in TypeScript, if you want to print something to the console, we have to use this console.log. So I'm just providing hello world, welcome to TypeScript. So now this is a simple, very simple TypeScript program that we have created. So now the program has been created. So in TypeScript execution, there are two phases. The first phase is compilation phase. The second phase is run phase. How can I compile a TypeScript program? So to compile that, I have to say npx tsc. So npx is called node package executor. So earlier we discussed about npm. npm means node package manager and npx is node package executor. If you wanted to install any modules or any libraries, we use npm. But if you wanted to execute any commands, we use npx. Okay. So npx tsc, this is a command which is used to compile your TypeScript programs. So as of now, there is one program, first program.ts. I wanted to compile this. You can simply go to your project directory. You can say npx tsc, click on enter. So now it should compile your project, your all the programs. So this command npx tsc, it will compile all the programs that are available in src folder. As of now, there is only one file. So it has been compiled. Go to dast folder. You can see there is an intermediate file generated, which is .js. Okay. So to compile a TypeScript program, you have to say npx tsc. This command will compile all the TypeScript programs available in the src folder. So now the file has been compiled and an intermediate file has been generated, which is .js. So I need to,
Sorry,
yeah,
Madhu. Is this a
yeah,
one-time command, or every time before the execution, do we need to run this command?
yeah, this has to be done every time because suppose now I wrote this program, right? So now let's
Mhm.
say there is an update for this program. You will not be having the latest JS file here.
So
So you
if there
have,
is no update, then we don't require. But if there is some updates, then it should be
yes,
the latest code. Okay.
yeah, that's correct. Because if there are no changes with respect to your program,
Yeah.
then you will get the same .js file. But if there are any updates to your programs, then you have to recompile that and you have to run that.
Okay.
So now I have compiled and there is an intermediate file that got generated. Now I wanted to run this. So to run this, you have to specify node and provide the path of your JS file. So I would say dist slash first program.js. Okay. So this is the command to run the program. So the npx ts is to compile the program and I'm providing node and your .js path. So if I run this, you will get the output. Hello world, welcome to TypeScript. So first you need to compile. So for compilation, we need to use npx tsc. Once the file is compiled, you will get an intermediate file with the .js extension in dast folder. Because why it has generated in the dast folder? Because in the config.json, that is what you provided. The source has to be read from src folder and the output files will be moved to dast folder. So that's the reason all the compiled ts files are moving to dast folder. So this is how you
Okay.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
So
At the moment, we have only one file, so that is the reason. That is fine. But maybe in the future, we'll like in our project, we'll have lots of files. So for every time we'll compile this way, it might take more time. Am I right? So can we compile only the particular file which we updated, because we know what we updated?
yes, yes. Yeah, actually that option I will show you because
Okay.
for now I'm just at the high level I'm providing the details,
Okay.
but in the next session we'll discuss in detail like as you mentioned, right? So there are some commands where you don't need to compile, where you can directly run the program because while you write the code, I don't want to take every time compile and run, but we have some commands to do both at a time or only run those options that are available in the TypeScript. I will show you that in the next session. But in general, this is the process. First, we need to compile, then run using node command. But still, there are options where you can perform both. You can perform both compilation and run you can do, or you can do only run. So that option is also available. Okay. Yeah, so this is all about today's session. So we have discussed about the Playwright introduction. What are the features? Playwright versus Selenium. Then we have discussed about the course overview and what are we going to learn as part of this course and what are the things that we are going to get as part of this course. And so today we discussed how to install Node.js and how to install VS Code, then how to install the TypeScript, and we just wrote a simple TypeScript program. So in the next session, we'll deep dive into TypeScript. We'll discuss about TypeScript data types and how to compile a single file or run single file. and operators. Those things we'll discuss from the next session. So, any questions so far?
So I have not been able to complete the installation process yet. I mean, a few of them. So can I like